We're going to take a look today at Setbuilder and interval notation. It's used a lot, and you need to understand it's basically how you write your answer. So a lot of your test questions, you may do all the hard work and get down to the right answer, but if you don't know how to write it in the right way, you're not going to get the right, you're not going to be able to choose the right thing. So we're going to look at an example of Setbuilder notation. So Setbuilder notation may look something like this. And we read it x such that maybe x is less than or equal to negative 5. Now, these curly braces mean it's a set. It must have curly braces. And it means that it's a set of numbers. So if I had a set of M&Ms, you would have a bunch of M&Ms. Well, in this case, I have a set of numbers. And the numbers all follow this rule. They're all the numbers that are less than or equal to negative 5. So this little line means such that. And this means basically all your x's such that follow this rule. So that's really all Setbuilder is. When you are making your curly braces, just like if I were to catch say a ball, I were to catch it, my hands are going to go around it. Well, the same thing goes with your Setbuilder. You're going to have a curly that starts facing in, and it's going to end facing in, and then you have your right-hand side is going to do the same thing. So when we're making the curlies, you're going to make it kind of a forwards S, followed by a backwards S. And notice that it cups or goes around those set of numbers. Then when you end it, you're going to do a backwards S, followed by a forwards S. So that's how we look at our curly braces. Interval notation, an example of interval notation could be something like this. We have negative infinity to negative 5. Now, notice my parentheses, and I have a bracket, and I'll give you kind of a little chart to be able to tell you how to use which one you use. But we always start with the smallest number, comma, the largest number. So negative infinity, basically, if we were looking at a graph for this particular solution, we would have, it's a closed or a hard bracket, so it's going to include the number, so we have a closed circle, and then it's all the numbers that are less than that. So that's kind of what that means. If you have a hard bracket is going to be used whenever you have a greater than or equal to or less than or equal to. We're going to use a hard bracket around the number because it can equal it or you can touch it. If you have a less than or a greater than, you're going to use a soft parentheses, something like that, because it can get close, but not equal the number. We're always going to use a soft parentheses around positive and negative infinity. Because can we touch infinity? No, we can get really, really close to it, but we cannot touch the exact value. So let's look at an example. Excuse me. If I have, say, a number line and my my graph has an open circle on -1, and it comes all the way up to -3. It does not include -1, but becomes very, very close to -1, but it does include 3. So the range of those numbers would be -1, 3, my interval notation. And it does include the 3, so we have a bracket, and it gets really close to the -1 but doesn't touch it, so we have a soft set of parentheses. Now our set builder, this is an AND situation because it falls within two different inequalities. So the way we would do that is we're going to have a curly brace, x, such that, now we're going to put our x between them. This helps me remember which way we're writing them. And the inequalities are always going to be less, less, because you always write the smallest first. And do we include -1? No. Do you include 3? Yes. So we would write -1 less than x less than or equal to 3. And we close out curly brace. So that's how you would do the set builder for that one. We're going to look at one more. This is used in compound inequalities. It's going to be simpler. I gave you a simpler example here at the beginning if you just have one inequality. Those will be like things we do at the beginning of this unit, and in the middle of this unit, this is for a compound inequality. Compound meaning it's got two different parts to it. And we're going to look at an OR situation. So this was an AND, and that will become important a little bit later. An OR situation would be something where you have, let's say, 1, close it and go to positive infinity, or something like that. So our interval situation, we're going to actually have two separate intervals. It's going to -infinity, so the smallest value is -1,000,000. No, it's -1,000,001. So it's -infinity, comma, -2. Now, around infinity, we always use parentheses. And can it equal -2? It's colored in, so yes, it can. And then we're going to put that U for union, meaning together with. Now, our smallest value on this one is 1, comma, and it goes all the way to 1,000,000. Nope, 1,000,001. Nope, 1,000,001.1. So we're going to do positive infinity. We can't touch it, so it's a soft parentheses, but it can equal the 1. Now, that's interval notation. Set builder is actually a little easier. So, set builder, spell here, again. Set builder is going to be curly brace, x, such that, now you don't always have to use x. If your problem has m in it, you would use an m. Well, our first inequality would be x is less than or equal to, because it's colored in, -2, or x is greater than or equal to 1. Now, we can't smush them together under the same inequality, only writing x once, because it's not an AND, it's an OR. This satisfies both of these inequalities. X satisfies both, but it's not in between them. And that's how you take care of set builder.